My name is Tom Bayliss-Hack. I'm the manager of the International Student Support Team here at JCU. Every year we probably have between 600 and 1,000 new international students come to our campus in Townsville from all over the world, and transport's a big priority for them. I'm a cyclist myself and I love riding around Townsville. It's nice and flat and a great place to ride. So when I heard about the bike shed getting set up, I talked to Trop Eco and the Bicycle Users Group, and we put together a grant application to get some money to try the green bike fleet. The idea for this would be that we obtain bikes cheaply, either second-hand or through the community, pay a mechanic to repair them and spare parts, and then sell them at low cost to students. Now, when we were putting this grant together, we really didn't know how the finances would work. So I did a few back of the envelope calculations and decided to go for $50 as the cost of a bike, and the student would get $20 back if they brought it back to us at the end of their semester. So that left us around $30 for the mechanic's wages and for any spare parts that were needed. In the end, we probably get 40% of the bikes that we've sold back, which is fine because the program is designed just to increase bicycle use. And the ones that don't get returned to us generally get passed on to other people and given around the community. So that's a good thing too. So, as I said, we get probably 600 to 1,000 new international students. At the start of the program, we had a small number of bikes available, and there's always more demand for the bikes than bikes we have to sell. Up to the last intake, we had around 100 bikes available, and there were still students looking to buy them. I would say probably half of all the students, the new international students, do want to buy a bike when they get to campus, and if they don't buy one from the Green Bike Fleet, they may go elsewhere and buy a new one that they end up discarding or leaving at their accommodation when they leave. So the Green Bike Fleet really fulfills a need in that regard. The initial grant I put in was for around 100 bikes was one of the targets in 2-year program. Now we're coming to the end of the 2 years now, and we've sold 200 bikes, and we've only used 80% of the funds available. So by having the $20 come back to us, it is almost sustainable. I calculate that we lose about $12 for every bike that goes through the Green Bike Fleet at the moment. Now, the primary aim of the grant was to increase bike use. Sustainability of the grant was a secondary consideration. However, if I was going to give advice to other people who are thinking about setting up a program like this, and they needed it to be sustainable, I would say, first of all, work out exactly how much it's going to cost to repair the bikes and sell them. Secondly, adjust the prices as you work out how many bikes are coming back. So, as I said, we lose $12. If we up the price $12, our program would be sustainable. And the third way would be to require a deposit from the students. At the moment, we don't mind if a student brings us back the bike or gives it to a friend or even sells it to someone else for more than the $20 they'd get from us. But if you did want to ensure that the amount of bikes that went out came back in, you could require a deposit to get the bike. And even just say you pay a fixed amount for the time you're having the bike and you get your deposit back at the end. Most people would be happy with that, I believe. And then it would make the amount of funds you have more sustainable for the future. So the future of the Green Bike Fleet, I would love it to still be around in 10 years. I think that cycling is only going to get more popular. As the environmental pressures increase on our world, it's only going to get more vital that people use sustainable low carbon transport. So I would love in 10 years for the Green Bike Fleet to be greatly expanded so that every student that wanted a bike could go and get a bike from the Green Bike Fleet. At the moment, most of our bikes are sourced from either the community or people who have a bike in their garage or bikes that are left at the on-campus accommodation. One idea that would be possible would be to get a decent number of high-quality bikes or medium-quality bikes and have them as a fleet ongoing. So people would pay a certain amount for the bike for the period they were here, and then that bike would go back into the store when it had finished. The current bikes we use are generally not the best quality, so all of those bikes probably will stop working at some point. It's great though, the community support we've got. In the beginning of the project, we put out some news releases in various places, asking anyone who had a bike in their garage to let us know, and we'd come pick it up. And I must say, I met some amazing people going out and picking up their old bikes and listening to their stories. One gentleman was 90 years old, and he had had his bike since the 1960s, and he said he hadn't ridden it for 20 years. It wasn't a bike we could really repair and get going again, but it shows the community links that a bike program builds. He had had a lot of fun in his life riding, and he was happy to know that potentially parts of that bike would go and live on in future students' cycling adventures.